106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Welcome to the Goddamn Podcast with Drew and TJ. Let's get this goddamn thing started.
Oh, God. I hate to do this to you guys. I really do. Glenn Beck.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, now I'm going to show a few clips, and this is all building up to something. So we won't say too much during the clips. We'll just comment, I guess, after them for a short bit. But it's all building up to something, of course.
Okay.
That's the direction we always head. So let's start off with this one.
You want to talk about racism? You want to talk about bigotry? Let me ask you. You tried being me? You tried being a conservative? You tried being a Tea Party member? You tried being an actor that has to meet in secret because of their political or religious beliefs. So people like you don't blackball him. Did I just say blackball? Yes, I did. Have you ever thought about being some of those actors that are afraid to say things around you because of the power that you and people like you wield?
I gotta jump in at that point. He's literally complaining that he's got too much power to yield. He's like, I'm wielding all this power, and it's so difficult because people won't open up to me. and he's like, do you know how it feels? Does Glenn Beck know how it feels to be like a gay person? Like that has to that chooses to deal with all the stigma that goes with fucking, being homosexual in today's society and dealing with people like him. Does he know what it's like to be an atheist? To be the least trusted? I mean, this is such utter bullshit. But he's such a victim card 24/7. But he's a victim while God gives him like prophecy to shit.
Oh, and he's always right about that prophecy too.
Never wrong. We'll prove that later. But let's try and finish this one up.
Let me ask you that. Well, you can't change the color of your skin. I can't change what I believe. I believe in God the Almighty. I believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. There's nothing that I can do to change that.
God damn it, I gotta jump in again. How is there nothing you can do to change what you believe? You expect to convert people, right? Christianity expects to convert people. They expect them to change what they believe constantly.
Well, my thing is, it's usually people like this that are like, well, why don't you believe? Why don't you believe? Oh. Okay, we legitimately don't believe.
Can you do? All right,
you don't have that right?
You got to turn down your mic on Skype.
Oh, is it too much?
It's clipping.
Let me mess with it.
Just be like, I hate to do this right now.
Is that better?
That's much better. Okay. Let everyone else decide.
Okay, is it still better? Still good?
On my end, it was clipping, so I don't know how it was for everyone else. Yes, all right. So I'm sorry. We are constantly trying to improve the show, which includes new gear, which we don't really test out until the show is going. So sorry, you'll have to deal with this occasionally, but it's all for the improvement of the show. Continue, please, about how Glenn Beck. You were supporting Glenn Beck, right? You were talking about how he truly is the victim in this situation.
I was saying that the way he uses that, like, I don't have a choice. I believe in the God of Abraham. Okay, we don't. But you ever notice that it's almost like a double standard there about us?
No, I've never. I for one have never noticed a double standard with people like Glenn Beck and conservative Republicans. I've never once noticed a double standard. They're truly logical people, and it's really difficult to point out their flaws. Absolutely. That's just me. As far as I'm concerned, Glenn Beck is the highest of the hanging fruit.
That's pretty sad. When Glenn Beck is the high-hanging fruit.
You know, let's try and finish this one. There's more to go through.
I sometimes, believe me, I don't want to believe that. It's not fun all the time. It's not easy all the time. It doesn't make you popular all the time. I can't change it. It is who I am. It's to the very fiber of my being. That's who I am.
But he's totally unaccepting of like gay people or whatever. He's like, I can't change who I am. He's like, you think I like being me, Glenn Beck? I think you do. I think you like being Glenn Beck. I don't think gay people necessarily like being discriminated against and being told that they chose to be in the discriminated minority. Like someone, like it's like so like you choose to be an atheist. No, you just come to a level of realization where you're like, I'm not gonna lie to myself. I'm not gonna say I believe this shit when I don't. I mean that's where I'm at. I still find moments where I doubt evolution. But that's what being a skeptic is. That's what being like an open-minded, like I still doubt my own fucking like beliefs as it goes with science and everything, and I'm constantly trying to like, yeah, what?
TJ, are you telling me you're backsliding from atheism?
No, I'm saying that what happens is I strengthen my atheism in a similar way that someone, a religious person would say, I'm strengthening my faith when someone makes an argument against me and I read through the Bible and find a passage that supports my argument. They would say, I'm strengthening my faith. Well, I guess I'm kind of doing the same fucking thing, but it's in the actual pursuit of truth, not just what I want to be true or have been told to be true. And that's why I don't just take anything. If there's a decent argument against evolution, like the first time someone told me about like the, what do they fucking call it?
Flagellum?
Yeah, with the tail.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit. I was like, that is now that to me is not a good argument in like for Christianity. You know what I mean? Or for any religion really. But it is a good argument for intelligent design. And I was like, okay, so you know, you dig a little deeper and you find out that it's not nearly as like they make it so cut and dry to get to their point. And it's so much more complex than that. And you end up doing, I mean, like hours and hours of research or reading on shit. And I find it interesting. So that lucky me. Like I enjoy Michael Crichton's books. And if anyone, he wrote Jurassic Park and and a few other awesome like Congo but the books are always better. And he writes in such a technical way. And I feel like I can just follow it. And not only that, but he gets into the science. And actually, one of his books brought up a lot of controversy. I believe it was State of Fear, was like basically calling global warming like an alarmist thing, which I disagree with him for. But like a lot of like Megadeth, what's his fucking name?
Dave Mustaine?
Yeah, I disagree with him on a lot of things, but it doesn't mean I can't enjoy his music. And just like I disagreed with the point he was trying to make in that one book, I enjoyed pretty much every other book, and I enjoyed that book. It's not like I'm so close-minded that I just want to hear what I want to hear. That's the point. Yeah. And we, during all of my shows and videos, I'm pretty much responding to people who have the opposite opinion. So I don't feel like we can be accused of not exposing ourselves to their arguments fully. Because, I mean, that's pretty much all I do. We're exposing ourselves, and their arguments are shit. Right here, we've got Glenn Beck saying...
it's hard to be a Christian in America.
Oh, god damn, it's so tough being Glenn Beck. Look at this motherfucker. And does that shoulder... I think that vest has shoulder pads. I fucking think that vest has shoulder pads. I'm pretty sure. It's almost over. Let's just get it over with.
Do you think I want to be a pariah? Do you think those people who work on the same sound stages as you don't want to be popular? You think they want to meet in secret? I've met with some of them. I've been to some of their secret meetings, the Friends of Abe. Some of them are terrified of people like you. Don't tell me about your problems, Samuel L. Jackson, with all of your leading roles. Shut the hell up.
I guess this was the response to Samuel L. Jackson.
And it's funny because you never would have thought that from
Yeah,
the beginning. And
like
it gets all the way down. Fuck you, Samuel
I
L.
mean,
Jackson.
I guess he's addressing the larger argument, similar to we're addressing the larger argument here with Glenn Beck and calling him out directly. But I'm tired of all these motherfucking right-wingers in my motherfucking America. Next.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Next, of course, we have Glenn Beck making, some really
solid arguments.
So that's what I was trying to say. Like, here is where I start totally. I'm like, Glenn Beck might really know what the hell he's talking about. So let's hear what he's talking about.
I'm interested in moving forward. I'm interested in moving to common sense. I'm interested in moving in a direction of freedom. And so when it comes to these measles vaccinations, we have a lot in common with the left. And we can't separate ourselves. We have to reach out to allies that say, okay, I disagree with you on many things. On this, let's agree. Let's move forward on this. None of us want measles. None of us want our children to have measles. None of us want to have an outbreak in our communities. Nobody wants anybody to die from measles. Nobody. So let's just have that as a baseline. Nobody does.
Right.
However, we also don't know what's going on with autism. We don't know what is happening to our children and to our families. Also, if you look at what the numbers were for autism 25 years ago to what they are now, and now they're saying
there's something going on.
There's some.
Okay, so first of all, the reason he's going to agree with the left is over the anti-vaxxer shit. That's where he's going to agree with the left. And then the motherfucker goes on to say, like, this is the same. He's like, oh, an autopsy. We don't know, or autopsy. Sorry, autism. It's same thing. But autism, like, we don't know where that's coming from. But they're the same people that make the argument that they're just making up this ADHD shit, and they, like, kids having those kind of stuff. They're like, oh, they're just over-diagnosing kids and shit. But with autism, they're like, no, this is a real thing, and it's from keeping kids from getting sick, because that's the plan. Keep them from getting sick by making them sick. Genius. Fucking genius. Because obviously the vaccines work. They have to know the vaccines fucking work. So what's the idea here? That, like, oh, we're gonna put out a vaccine that, like, keeps a bunch of kids healthy, but then fucks up a small handful, and that's the plan. That's the master plan, and the goal is what? I just don't understand the anti-vax, like, what they think the goal of the government is to get them, like, oh, we're gonna pin you down by keeping your kids from getting measles.
The thing that threw me off is the entire first half. I was like, wow, this seems like it makes a lot of sense. I'm guessing that's kind of where you were too.
Well, I mean, when he's like, there's certain things that you have to agree with the other side on, and there are certain things that you can agree, for example, the right wing, like, I agree they should, we should cut all kinds of funding. I just disagree that it should be social programs, and I think it should be like the military. You understand? There's, like, differences there. And he's agreeing with the leftists, but only when they are anti-vaxxers, because he's, okay, we got the point on this one, right? He's a fucking anti-vaxxer, right? So let's drive the point home with this totally awkward fucking clip that deals with that, and his crew responding to him.
I found this phenomenal. Wealthy LA schools, the wealthiest Beverly Hills areas, now have vaccination rates that are as low as South Sudan's, because the parents there are opting out of vaccinating their children because it's not natural. It could, they fear autism, they fear eczema.
Seborrhea, psoriasis.
But they're having a big uptick in whooping cough and all these diseases.
I'm torn.
Why are you applauding?
I'm torn.
I mean, halfway just to piss you off. But the other half is, I think that there is a lot to be said for this vaccination crap. It is. I have no idea.
Sorry, go ahead.
I know.
You don't believe in vaccinating?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said I think there's a lot to be said for
saving lives,
Being cautious?
being
Keeping-
cautious on what we're jamming into our children's arms.
So even here, his crew is like, what? They're like, are you against vaccinating kids for shit? Because they're making the point like, oh, look at these like liberal fucking rich people that won't vaccinate their kids because it's not natural. And Glenn Beck's like standing ovation.
Yeah.
And then the weird thing about like, she's like, why are you applauding? He's like, halfway to piss you off. What? He's just such a weird fuck. I have no problem believing that. Like, if you said people wear magic underwear, I'm like, shut the fuck up. And then you told me, no, this guy wears magic underwear, and I'm like, I believe you. No doubt that motherfucker wears like magic fucking underwear. That he's just fucking insane. It's like a beautiful mind without the beautiful part, or the mind part.
It's just one big acid trip.
Yeah, exactly. Let me hear from you.
Yeah. I'm curious because I know there is a I don't know how much it is on the left that is anti-vaxxer. Those people that are against the vaccines and shit like that.
There are a few.
That's very true.
There are a few. There are left wingers, quote unquote, that support the Iraq War and shit. Like there's all kinds.
And 9/11 truthers.
Well, that's one of the things about being a liberal is that it's like herding cats, like atheists. Like we might agree on some humanistic basic things, and they label us as the left and liberal, as you know, for those reasons. But we still disagree on a shitload of things. There are conservative atheists. I mean, that's right there is proof that you can't just tie one thing to another, and they try to do that constantly. And even his own crew here will continue this video. They're like, what? And his explanations are just fucking so whack. But keep in mind, this is we're only building up to the grand fucking finale of Glenn Beck in this spot. This is fucking gets only more ridiculous.
By law, all the time.
Right.
Okay.
I'll go for. I got it. We eradicated smallpox. We got it. But there's a lot of stuff. I gave my kids the vaccination. But there's a lot of stuff that we don't know what we're dealing with. I mean, doctors are so arrogant, and I speak with a little bit of experience here. They will pump you full of stuff and say, "Oh no, this is," when a lot of times the GMO, the food, the poisons in our own food, just to keep it all, hey, it's fresh, it's new, used by 2017.
It looks beautiful.
Looks great. All of that stuff, plus all of the medication.
Did they seriously just edit in the text on top of his fucking hands?
They're trying to make it as easy for Beck followers to keep up with as possible.
He went from anti-vaxxer to now GMO, like, oh my god. And if this motherfucker, I can goddamn guarantee you that if Glenn Beck went to like fucking Chili's and the broccoli was wilted, he'd be like, what is this shit? You know, he'd expect some nice GMO shit to be right on his fucking plate. Yep. This dumb motherfucker, Jesus, but he thinks, look at him, he really thinks he's got it all fucking figured out. And then all these fucking people are sitting next to him, and he makes a fool of himself, doing like some standing ovation, dropping the script on the floor shit. And they're all like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? You can see the doubt in their faces, and then they're like, no, wait. My paycheck comes from this bullshit.
Oh yeah, better play along. You have to. Sometimes I wonder if Glenn Beck is just completely fucking retarded, or if he's just really bad at expressing a good idea. And by that I mean really fucking bad.
Dude, like the chalkboard thing.
Yeah, the chalkboard conspiracies.
Dude,
somehow the Nazis and Stalin are just like involved in everything.
Dude, Pol Pot and fucking like Jeffrey Dahmer knew Bill Clinton's daughter, therefore fucking liberal conspiracy, like weird shit. All right, we've all got the point here that he's a complete fucking loon. I can move on
I
from
hope
this.
so.
Jesus Christ, this is all right. Let's see. Now, Glenn Beck's predictions. I'm going to show you him making a prediction here. I'm pretty sure this is the same prediction he's been making for a while, but it must be because it's going to come true.
I told you last year, I kept hearing, and so it begins. Let me take this down to a more base level. I believe the Charlie Hebdo incident is more of this. When I say, and so it begins, what I meant was, oh my gosh, here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. It's starting. Look at this piece is going to grow, and that piece is going to grow. What happened in France, if you are standing at a starting line and you're going to be in a race, you will always hear, ready, set, bang. I believe that last year was the ready. I believe the Charlie Hebdo was the set. And I think the go.
I just got to point out that the Charlie Hebdo like incident was the set part of this, not the bang. Not the bang part, but the set part. What does it take to be the bang part?
I'm assuming that just the very next thing that happens, because they can keep saying that until like another 9/11 happens.
Wait. Maybe you have a decent prediction about what Glenn Beck is going to say. You haven't seen this, right?
Right.
So you've not. So let's hear what the bang part is. What your prediction of Glenn Beck's bang is.
My prediction of what the actual bang is?
No, what he's going to say the bang is. Because he's predicting the future. So I want you to predict what Glenn Beck says. You haven't seen his video, so I want you to predict what Glenn Beck is thinking the bang part of this. Charlie Hebdo was the set. So what's the bang?
I have nothing. I have no idea.
Are you serious? Come on, man. It's got to be.
Is coming, and it's coming soon. And if you believe that you can stand around and just not be plugged into what the world is doing, and pay attention to what's going on, and be disconnected from your faith and your principles, when that starting gun fires, and it's going to fire soon, it's going to be too late. I warn you, and I beg you with everything in me to hear me. Please hear me. The world is on the precipice of fascism, communism, anarchy, and theological nightmares.
So you could have easily guessed that.
Yeah. Okay.
Communism, anarchism.
I thought it was going to have something to do directly with Islam, is what I was thinking.
No, it's because of Charlie Hebdo. That was the set to the bang, which is communism, because that's what Islam and everything, it's just, it's the direction we're going. It's complete fascism.
But which also somehow a mixture of communism and anarchy.
Yeah.
Which are two
opposing
ideas.
Totally opposing ideas, but he's going to just mix them in. And guess what? His audience is dumb enough to be like,
because it's buzzwords.
Look at this dumb shit with a sweater vest on. I like him.
That's what they do, man. That's what his whole show on Fox was about.
But
the chalkboard conspiracies with the fucking hammer and sickle and the swastika and shit.
How is that the bang to the Charlie Hebdo shit being the set? I don't see how it can get any more bang than the Charlie Hebdo shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, ready, set, bang. Like, it would be ready, like, we like free speech. Set, we drew a cartoon. Bang, they reacted. That's like ready, set, bang. This guy's like, ready, they want free speech. Set, Charlie Hebdo, bang, communism, anarchism. Like, it's in complete fucking insanity. He's got those dead, dumb eyes. You can just tell. Oh, God. All right. Done with that video. We have to continue. So, here I'm going to show you how Glenn Beck accurately predicts the future. All right?
Oh, awesome.
So I came in early this morning and I took the chalkboard out and I wrote 3 categories: Obama, Russia, North Korea / Sony, and look at the. I just have some questions on these things, and then at the bottom I wrote what I think is coming: Russia, chaos, expansion into the Ukraine and beyond, war with the West. War in the Middle East, Syria, Iran, possibly North Korea is involved in that. I'm not sure, but that's all with Russia. UK and Europe, chaos, Muslim extremists, Nazis, communists, and anarchists. Middle East, caliphate, true horror like we have not seen, like in what we saw this week in Pakistan. I think it'll bleed into India and also places like Australia. You're going to start to see the Middle East, this chaos spreading in the Middle East down all the way through
what's that part by the Middle East?
Case in point, that is exactly what I was talking about, man. It's all fucking buzzwords. He does it the same. He do it every time.
Look at
he can't just say one at a time. He has to throw the whole sling of them together, no matter if they contradict each other or not.
Next time he shows the chalkboard, look at the fucking chalkboard. It's like chaos, 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 communism, chaos, caliphate, chaos. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Look at this shit. Hold on.
Yeah, freeze frame it on that.
Pan-Asian area. Then South America, communists, hyperinflation.
Hold on, no. I want to get, like, I'm going to have to go a little bit back. I'm sorry. There we go. Russia, chaos. UK, Europe, chaos. Middle East, caliphate. USA, chaos. South America, communism. Like, what the that's some real, like, some shit he thought out real hard about. He's like, chaos, 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 communism, caliphate. C. He says in the USA there's going to be race riots.
And banking chaos.
Politician chaos, banking chaos. Oh my, the guy. All right, so he's obviously accurately predicting shit, right? We can all agree on that.
Of course.
So, all right. So I would like to show a video that I myself made a while back. I'm not going to show the whole thing, just the first couple minutes. But this is a video I made where Glenn Beck totally accurately predicts a bunch of shit, such as this. Oh, yeah.
The similarities of what is being done right now to the beginning of our country. We are repeating, and we're at the very beginning of it, but we are repeating all of the steps that it took for us to be free in around the time of the Declaration of Independence. Don't you think?
I agree.
It's starting to happen.
And I look at the Tea Parties, I look at other, even churches, and it's like the committees of correspondence. What we're doing with transmitting information through social media, etc. I was just talking to some of the guys on the ground this morning in 6 of the battleground states, and they say hands down that on our side, social conservatives and Tea Party folks, our technology is so much better than what Obama has. The media keeps saying how great his technology is. What we've been able to do with micro-targeting, what we've been able to do with voter ID and registration turnout, it is so much more sophisticated than what they're doing on their side. And that's exactly what was going on in the first and second Great Awakenings. Everybody underestimated how organized and how dedicated small groups could be, and that's exactly where we are now.
So what is your prediction?
I predict that tomorrow night is not going to go nearly as long as everybody thinks it will. I don't think it's going to be nearly as tight. We'll certainly know within the first couple hours.
Just give me an electoral college number for Romney. Ballpark it.
270 to win, and I think it's easy over that. I think it could be 320, 330.
I agree.
Right on the money.
He will be anywhere from 3 to 6 points ahead in Iowa. When that comes back, that count, it'll be 3 to 6 points ahead.
And you kind of wanted to run these numbers that, let's say this does happen. I mean, it's not a guarantee by any means, but, if the activists turn out, if people who listen to this show, who participate with Freedom Works, churches really come out and show up to vote, and they're able to swing these things 6 points, for example, to use Wisconsin as example, what happens? Well, states like Florida that are swing states and Virginia that are really close go to Romney right away. The Colorados of the world and New Hampshire and Iowa all will move to Romney in that situation. Wisconsin is close enough to move in that situation. Ohio
Wisconsin
is as
becomes tied, right?
No, Wisconsin would move all the way into
Romney?
Into the Romney category.
I think there's a chance of that. I do think there's a chance of that. If they're tied now, I believe that's not an accurate snapshot. I believe if they're tied now, it means they're winning by 3 to 6 points.
Now, I will say that the Wisconsin poll we're talking about is a Rasmussen poll. Has them tied at 49-49. Other pollsters disagree and still see there's a lead that's not major, but a small lead for Obama. So we should at least factor that in. But you're talking about a 6-point swing. If this really comes into that sort of level, you're talking about Pennsylvania and Nevada also switching.
Nice.
And you're going to get into the area of 321 electoral votes.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I mean, it was like, what was it, 321 points?
321 to 217.
Electoral votes?
Yeah, in that scenario.
Wow, that'd be great.
Which would be a mandate.
Oh, yeah.
Which would be a
huge.
giant spanking.
That's huge.
Indeed. That was one of Glenn Beck's most accurate predictions, of course.
And he's always right.
He's like, oh, I agree, man. I really think that Romney's just going to spank the shit out of Obama and not the other way around. It's not going to go nearly as long as everyone thinks, said David Barton. Yeah, you're right. You were both totally right. Someone got spanked. It was a mandate, all that shit. Just totally against your la-la fairyland bullshit. Oh my God!
That was such a great moment. That Obama re-election was so good, dude. All the stuff that happened on Fox, oh, dude, it was just great. Bill O'Reilly blaming it on what was it? The social norms have changed.
No.
The white culture.
People want things. They want stuff. All right, that's why you vote for Obama, because you want things. I'm still waiting for my Obama phone. Damn it. It's been years now. Damn it! Where the hell is my Obama phone? I'm still waiting for my Obama watch too. I don't have that yet.
Yeah. Well, the asshole's supposed to be paying for our rent and our gas.
He's the worst motherfucker ever. He's like, one big ass mistake, America. You see that all over the place. All right. So all this was building up to this clip, because this clip is all I really wanted to cover, but I had to build up to it. There has to be a build up. So I want you to enjoy. You know those people that are like, your tears taste so beautiful. This is exactly that case. Enjoy.
How do we wake up our own families? We are living in the 1930s all over again. One of those things that I know God told me, you decide who your family is. You decide who your family is going to be, so when they do come for people, you decide now, am I going to turn my eyes from it, or will I say, you take him, you take me too? That seemed insane 8 years ago. Insane. We used to joke, Tiffany Siegel, she's my executive producer on this program, and she runs all the Glenn.
All right. It's really fun to watch him cry, but can anyone follow him at all? And to make my point, of how difficult it is to follow Glenn fucking Beck with his crazy ass fucking reasoning, I'm going to start this video from the beginning again. Alright? You get to watch the crying again, but try to actually listen. And I want you, Drew, to give a well thought out response to Glenn Beck's point here. Alright? So, pay attention.
How do we wake up our own families? We are living in the 1930s all over again. One of those things that I know God told me, you decide who your family is. You decide who your family is going to be, so when they do come for people, you decide now, am I going to turn my eyes from it? Or will I say, you take him, you take me too?
What?
That seemed insane 8 years ago. Insane. We used to joke, Tiffany Siegel, she's my executive producer on this program, and she runs all the Glenn Beck programs and everything else. And 8 years ago, we used to sit in the office and we would talk about things to come, and it was almost half a joke. Look, they come for the Christians first, you hide me. They come for the Jews, I hide you. Okay? If they come for both of us, run like hell. But it used to be kind of that joke. In the last few weeks, unspoken, I believe we have looked at each other, and she has said to me, it's really getting scary.
I'm going to jump in real quick. Keep in mind, she didn't look at him and say, it's getting scary. He said he looked at her in the eyes and felt that the message she was giving him was, this is getting scary. How many fucking Nazi references can you fucking make about the U.S. fucking government? He complains about people like, oh, they're discriminating against my religion when we want to push our shit everywhere. Also, when they disagree with me, they're Nazis. Like, do you not see the disconnect there?
Yeah, and not just that, but they are literally going to be coming and getting you, and you will have the option. Who are your friends? Who are you going to turn over? You going to let them take your brother? Are you going to let them do that?
Dude,
they're coming,
it's a weird fucking argument. And he's like, it just goes all over the fucking place. He's like, God told me that you choose who your family, if you're going to follow them, or if they take the Jews or the Christians. It's just like, what the fuck? How? Okay, I got to go back and freeze frame again. Tearful guy in the fucking audience. That's a motherfucking guy crying about Glenn fucking Beck telling a fucking story that doesn't make any fucking sense. That's more scary than Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck is scary. Oh, yeah. It's like, do you know who Gorilla 199 is? He's an insane YouTuber. Okay, insane. He's scary. But having someone like watching him and like crying while this guy tells his insane tales, like they paid money.
To get into his little studio.
Yeah, they wouldn't just let anybody in there, otherwise they'd end up with people like me and you, and we'd be laughing too hard.
Yeah, that's what the whole audience would be what they wanted to show.
This
Look at that clip you have right there. There's 4 people that you can kind of read their facial expressions. All of them are super into what he's saying. The dude in the back is just bawling his fucking eyes out.
All of them are white. The lady in the back looks like her wig is all kinds of fucked up. The redhead.
They're just like so entranced.
I got $20, says the lady in the background is not a redhead. or if she was a redhead, but is no longer. She's a whitehead, but nobody likes whiteheads. Oh my god! All right, we gotta. I'm gonna skip back to where we were before.
I believe we have looked at each other, and she has said to me, "It's really getting scary."
I believe we have looked at each other, and she has said, "It's getting scary." I believe I've made some deep contact with Glenn Beck, and I agree. It is indeed scary. Scary as a motherfucker. This dude is scary. Look at him with his hand in his back pocket. What the fuck is that about? You trying to look all like, I'm just down folks' homes. You talking to all, like, how many how many black people in the crowd? I'm trying to count them all. Trying to count all the black people in that crowd.
Awful lot of honkies in that crowd.
Damn, man, it's gonna take me a while to count them all.
I don't know, probably the guy behind the camera or something.
Fucking thug life. All right.
Hey, what is the? Because I'm assuming you've seen a lot of this video clip. What's the significance of the 1791? What was his gimmick? Is that something to do specifically with what he's talking about here? Because his hat says
I gotta be honest. It's probably just his new fucking gimmick. Remember, he had like a 912 thing. Remember?
Yeah.
It was like 9 more, and then he totally dropped that once he sold it out. And then he's probably picking it the 912, 1792, fucking just a bunch of numbers, and we'll sell it to these dipshits in the audience. That's pretty much what it is.
Sounds old school America.
All right, we got to finish this off, and then we'll take a quick break.
It's cool.
She's Jewish. They'll come for her first. It is getting scary. I promise you, we are living in the 1930s, and it's going to sweep the entire globe. Pray for your family to wake up. Pray for you to be strong enough to stand. Just go home with honor. Just go home with honor.
Just go home with honor. Complete fucking lunacy. God damn it, it pisses me off to fucking have to deal with fucking a world full of these idiots.
Yeah.
People that they really think they got it all figured out. The moment that you say that you're against any kind of Republican idea, I've had people that I've known for a long time. I knew this really rich dude drove a brand new 7 Series BMW. All right, do you know what I'm talking about? Like, we're talking about like a fucking $60,000-$70,000 car.
Right.
All right. Constantly complained wasn't good enough, and was always telling me I'm gonna give it to you, and I kept telling him I couldn't even afford the oil changes, bro. What do you want me to do with that thing? I'm not gonna be able to afford that thing. And we got into a conversation one time, and I disagreed with like some Republican point that he made, and he's like, "Oh, you just love Obama." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "I hate Obama." He's like, "Oh, really? Tell me why." And it was for this totally different reasons than him, but only because Obama's not as left-wing as they try and fucking make him out to be. It's pathetic. It's pathetic how they try and make him out to look like this like far-left liberal Kenyan without a birth certificate. Like, we all know that you have no real fucking argument when you did the birth certificate thing. We all know that you're full of fucking shit, and you should shut the fuck up about anything until you fucking educate yourselves more than just fucking listening to goddamn Glenn Beck.
Somebody in the chat got it spot on. They said this is Jesus camp for adults.
Jesus camp for people with money, real money. That's what it is. Because no one in this audience paid less than like $500 to be there. Guaranteed. There's not a seat in that little audience that they didn't fucking charge the fuck out of to listen to this insanity and cry along with him. Jesus, at least that motherfucker got his money's worth because he's that fucking stupid.
One of the things that I don't understand, even in the kind of mind of a person who would watch Glenn Beck, let alone pay probably $500 to $1,000 to go see him face to face, the thing I don't understand is how you can possibly hold some of those ideas like Christians are persecuted until they start like mass closing down churches that outnumber fast food joints in America, or until they start rounding up Glenn Beck and Alex Jones and throwing them in prison for saying shit. Then you really don't have an argument. It's like they say all the time, "Oh, Obama's a dictator, rules like a king." If you ruled like a fucking king, you would not be on air.
No, you're not getting it, bro. You're not getting it. First, they came for the bankers. And then they came for the fucking Wall Street traders. And then they came for the Mormons. And then, it's just all fucking fairy tale la-la bullshit. Anyway, that was the grand fucking finale, because this guy is fucking nuts, and I wanted to show him crying yet again. He's cried so many times about the stupidest shit, and it's honestly just a ploy, and it fucking obviously works, because he manages to bring other people to tears with it, which... I mean, honestly, I was brought to tears. Thank God we're both wearing sunglasses, because otherwise we'd both be embarrassed with the tears that are just streaming down our face right now.
Also, I want to congratulate you on something, TJ. For some reason, you just have a real gift at freeze framing the clip at just the right spot. You get the most ridiculous fucking faces out of people.
I would like everyone to welcome Glenn motherfucking Beck to the podcast. Woo! Chalkboard. How you doing, buddy? What's wrong, Glenn?
Octopus. I just want to say that I choose you.
I choose you too, Glenn Beck.
When they come for you, I'm gonna be there. And I'm gonna tell them, you take him, and you take my mother, too.
Not you, your mom?
I might be out of town that day, but I'll send my mother.
That's
dearly.
That's pretty hard. It's pretty hardcore.
Does that mean that TJ and your mom are going to be together?
Is that Drew? Drew.
It is.
My brother in arms. When they come for you.
Drew, you might not know, but Drew is actually a Tea Party member.
I am.
He's full-fledged. He's got like the tea
the
in
Houston,
it.
Texas chapter.
No, I was gonna say you've got the Lipton in your pantry.
It's green, actually.
Green? You fucking fascist.
Green tea.
Are you gonna
say fascist?
Yeah. Are you gonna save someone that drinks green tea, Glenn? Yeah, that's the face I expected you to make. Exactly. That's the green tea face right there of Glenn Beck. Like, green tea? Come on. I don't think so. I'm thinking. I like it black, like my chalkboard.
Sounds like something healthy that the Obama administration would try to push on us.
No doubt, with that fat Michelle Obama.
Yeah, Michelle was the one that turned me on to green tea.
She's so fat. She got that fat ass.
Well, so I'm wondering, if I drink green tea, does that make me a communist or an anarchist? Or both?
Green. You got to think where green is leading to. It's probably a leftist, like, care about the environment type
Is it
thing.
any coincidence that green is the color of Islam? I think it's clear that Drew is an agent for ISIS. A recruiter, if you will. Undercover in America. I say no later than 2017, the United States government will be completely subverted by ISIS.
Did God tell you that?
By the way, I've just shared screens with you guys, so you don't have to deal with the delay. Because we will be going into further videos. I know, Glenn Beck, you're really interesting, and I love the face you make, like, all the time, because it's a stupid face, no matter what kind of face you're trying to make, but we will be moving on to further content, and you're more than welcome to join us.
That was beautiful, Octopus. That was beautiful.
I'm going to need you to stop sobbing, though. Like, because the sobbing thing. I've only heard one other guy cry like this, and it was because of his receding hairline. It receded all the way to the back of his neck. His name was Dark Matter, 2525. You've never heard of him, have you?
Dark Matter is a great man, Octopus.
Oh, really?
He lost his hair because of the vaccines and the fluoride. We'll all be next, Octopus. we'll all be next.
But you're
learned.
gonna send your mom in my place, right? That was the deal. Are you or are you not sending your mom in my place when the Holocaust shit happens here in America? I need to know this now.
Because he wants to look in her eyes and get the feeling that he should be afraid.
Octopus.
How do you get this stupid shit on top to go away? I want this stupid shit next to Glenn Beck to go the fuck away. There it goes. Leave me the fuck alone.
Hear this, Octopus?
Is that the chains that shackle you? Did Obama send you those chains in the mail? I love when you break character to laugh at my jokes. It's the best.
These are the keys that I'm handing my mother right now to get in the car to head to your house.
Bullshit. That's all the gold that Gold Line has given you. Gold Line is like, yo, Glenn Beck, pimp our shit, and we're going to give you 2 pounds of gold every month. You can make all the pimp chains you want. Glenn Beck's like, Thug Life. And a reminder, Thug Life not featured in this show because it's a shortened show, but will be all the previous Thug Lives uploaded as one video onto the goddamn channel, 1AK, where you can subscribe and view all of our podcasts, past, present, and future, motherfuckers. We appreciate it. Also, we have a Patreon. Thank you, 1AK. We also Gold Line. Gold Line. We're now taking gold. Just send gold to us. That's totally acceptable. And like Jews fillings and stuff, anything. We'll take it.
We'll take that too. We're not picky.
Not very picky.
Everyone disregard everything Octopus said because by tomorrow there will be World War III nuclear strikes. I was just informed.
Not sure about North Korea. They might be involved. Not quite sure about that one yet. Also, keep in mind, God told Pat Robertson that Obama was going to lose. He didn't. He's like, I know who, but he's going to lose to somebody. I won't tell you who, but he's going to lose. And then we never heard about that prediction again, did we?
Wouldn't it be great if that God was real? And I guess he just likes fucking with people. Like for the same reason he told like 4 Republicans they would all be the next president.
That would make way more sense than the like actual arguments and premises that they try and go with. It would make way more sense that God is real and fucks with people that believe in him than than God is real and is really trying to help everybody. And like when you pray to him, you can find the keys you lost in the sofa, but the hungry kids and people with like, you know, babies with bone cancer and shit, meh.
Yeah.
Meh.
And he really did like plant dinosaur bones here to test everybody.
Yeah, no, that was Satan though. Satan did that, I'm pretty sure. It, you know, whenever, you know, good things God, bad things people, and Satan. It's pretty much the equation.
What's
I think Slipknot said it best. People equal shit.
I think children with cancer need to learn how to believe more.
They need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, unless they have foot cancer. In which case, probably shouldn't put any boots on. Okay. Stop crying, Glenn. God damn it. You're such a baby about everything.
My private jet ran out of fuel.
Oh,
I have to get it refueled. And it's going to take a while.
And gas just went up. That's and it takes you time, and your time is valuable. You could be you'd be talking to some like
just go up.
What? Every day.
Still president.
Yeah, exactly. The price. Do you see? Unemployment went up and then down with Obama, and then the gas prices went down and then up and then down and then up. So therefore, fuck Obama. I actually, you know what? I'm starting to see your point. I'm starting to understand where you're coming from, Glenn.
All coming together, Glenn.
I made $53 million last year. It's down from 52, 55.
Yeah, 52 is lower than 53.
It's down from 55 last year.
That was almost good ad lib. Almost. And then you fucked up your math like terribly. Like how did you go one number lower to
But
say
that's
something
Beck
more?
wouldn't actually do.
Oh, actually, actually, your acting skills are more tuned than I give you credit for. All right, so we have something here that Drew suggested we cover.
Ooh.
So let's cover this real quick because we have a lot more to get through actually. So let's try and get through as much of this as possible. I'm gonna have to adjust the screen somehow, so just deal with me.
When evil is called good, darkness is ushered into the land. And with the darkness comes a threat to our freedoms.
I believe it is the single greatest threat to religious freedom in the United States of America today.
The blatant hostility to the Christian faith.
The most insidious and aggressive assault to our religious freedom that we've ever seen. That is the cultural clash of our time.
If homosexual activists get everything they want, it'll be nothing less than the criminalization of Christianity.
Gotta stop it there. Glenn, do you agree? If homosexuals get what they want, it's basically criminalizing Christianity. So basically, if you don't get to stone to death disobedient children, that is an affront directly on Christianity, right?
We're witnessing the eroding of Christianity before our eyes, and I am scared. Octopus, I am genuinely
I can
frightened.
tell by how often you cry that you are obviously very scared.
If a man inserts his penis into the anus of another man,
it ruins your marriage. I know. Trust me, coming from a guy who's had a relationship with the same girl for like coming on 9 years, and we have a 7 and almost 8-year-old daughter, and we live in the same house and do all that shit. I know, and we're unmarried. I know how important marriage is to really make things work. So I'm totally with you there.
You were talking about children getting cancer. How do you think that happens, Octopus? It's the erosion of our Christian values.
So wait a
Can you
second.
not
Are
see?
you saying it's justified that children have bone cancer simply because other people have been bad? So don't give the kids a chance.
I'm saying don't mess with God.
I almost thought you were going to say don't masturbate. I really almost thought that's where you're going with it.
Please,
But
Octopus, this is a family show.
Oh, obviously, The Blaze. I do think it's an appropriate title for your TV station because it's should be set. Your set should be set ablaze. that would come out awesomely for me. I would watch that news clip. Would you like to continue?
That's exactly what the NWO would have to, Octopus.
And those left-wingers. We hate vaccines and love bombing non-abortion clinics.
And you hate free speech.
We'll get back to you on that one. Let's continue with this shit.
I'm Janet Porter. I was in the dark about the radical agenda to silence the truth, but after years of research and observation, there is no longer any doubt. As I wrote in The Criminalization of Christianity, if they can silence the truth, they will silence the gospel. This film is to expose the assault on our freedoms and shed some light on how we can use the freedoms we have left.
Did they really put that bitch out in the woods with a lantern?
Yes, they did. That was the selling point of the video.
And this is the preview. This is the preview, right? Like the advertisement
this is like
for
the
the movie.
trailer.
So they put her out in the woods with a lantern to introduce the movie trailer because they're really hip to how movie trailers work. Because that's what happens. They put the fucking producer or director or writer of the script or whatever on screen to be like, let me tell you what I was really aiming for with this movie. What I was going for was like, queers are bad. Alright? The dick goes in the pussy, not the butt. That's what I'm really going for with this film. And if you pay attention, you'll catch it. Jesus Christ.
Cactopus, we are all, in a way, wandering through a dark forest, if you will.
Would you call it like a dirt road that you're driving up?
Indeed.
Would you be driving up that dirt road all night long?
Wonderful description, Cactopus. Perfectly describing the oppressions we have suffered throughout the Obama administration. It will all come to a head.
Going up the dirt road is a good analogy.
You got
what Obama's done to you.
Driving up the dirt road. That's the term. You got to drive up that dirty, muddy road.
It will all come to a head.
You got to drive deep into the night on that long, dark, dirty, muddy road.
Eventually ending in a horrific explosion.
Exactly. You know, souls flying this way and that. Seeds spilled.
You really paint a picture, Glenn.
For real.
Get us all worked up, Glenn.
I find this easy to masturbate to.
It's what I do.
Let's continue this because it's actually got a couple more minutes.
What kind of freedom of speech do we have if a person who expresses a biblical viewpoint about...
By the way, this is Mike Huckabee talking. I know my face is over his face, which is horrifying, but whatever.
Marriage is told they can't open their businesses in a location.
And so they say in San Antonio, oh, if you believe that homosexual marriage is a bad deal, we're not even going to let you run for office here. We're not going to let you have your right of conscience. We're not going to let you believe things other than what we tell you to believe.
We're getting the lines from the media, we're getting the lines from education, we're getting the lines from politicians and even theologians. Well, you know, there's the gay gene. Really? Well, name it for me.
Okay, name the straight gene for me. Dipshit.
There's got to be the one gene.
If it's a choice to be gay, then it's a choice to be straight. So if you're actually choosing to be straight, it means you're not actually straight. Because being straight doesn't mean you choose to be. It means you're probably not straight and are just choosing to be straight. The same way you think other people are choosing to be gay. I can't imagine anyone that would want to go through the stigma that society puts on gay people and be denied the rights and be like chastised by their family and their friends and co-workers and who put themselves through all that shit just because they choose to do it. That makes tons of sense, doesn't it?
No, actually, I disagree, Cactopus. I am trying to resist with every fiber of my being to not choose Drew. You understand?
I don't think you have the willpower.
I think I almost in my mind I heard I choose you, Pika Drew.
Glenn constantly looks confused.
Exactly.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, he's crying again?
You made him cry, TJ.
Fuck. Can I...
When I look at Drew's face, I see a sunrise.
I see the Pillsbury Doughboy.
I see his face when I wake up in the morning and when I go to sleep at night.
Jesus Christ, you are a creepy motherfucker. You know that? Dude,
he's playing it so good.
When I look at Drew's face, I see the Pillsbury Doughboy if he listened to metal. Yeah. All right, we got to finish this video. We have to.
I just want to say I'm not that white.
But you are that doughy. Got it. Got it. I understand the point you're trying to make here. It's no worries, bro. You can make fun of like my beard or my fringe. This is obviously my mom's basement. I'm some liberal in my mom's basement with my sunglasses on, and
your satanic Illuminati.
I got symbolism and shit going on. So obviously my arguments are not even valid. It's something you shouldn't even have to worry about, Glenn. All right? I'm trying to make you feel better. All right? I'm not someone you should even be taking seriously, but maybe these people here in this video, maybe you should pay attention to.
Number it. Because if there's a gene that's identified for homosexuality, it would have a name, it would have a number, we know who the doctor was that found it.
And so you believe I'm being intolerant because I believe the Bible standards. Are you not being intolerant when you say that there is something wrong with me for believing the Bible?
It's really not about marriage. It's about forcing the acceptance of homosexuality on people.
If you change...
Bingo. He just said it. It's really not about marriage. It's about forcing. And I mean, even if that's someone that disagrees with them, they cut that clip to put in their movie trailer. So even if it's someone that's saying it's really not about marriage, it's about forcing the acceptance of gay marriage, and he's in favor of gay marriage, the way they clip that and put it in the fucking preview makes it seem as though he's agreeing with them, which is, and his point that it's not about marriage. It's totally about like just denying people the same kind of rights and accepting things that you don't like the same people that are like, Elvis gyrating those hips, we can't be having that. Like, get the fuck out of here. Do you not realize this information age that we live in? Kids know the word fuck. Me saying the word fuck, and if a fucking like 10-year-old or 11-year-old watches my podcast, it's not the first time he's heard the word fuck. Garen goddamn teed. This idea that you're protecting people is fucking ridiculous.
Indeed, Elvis did gyrate his hips, Octopus. And where is Elvis today?
He's on the eternal throne. In heaven. On his eternal throne.
The point you make with the relating it to the people talking about Elvis gyrating his hips, and it's fine if you want to equate it like that, but it's when you start saying, by the way, you can't own Elvis records because I don't like that he gyrates his hips.
That's the whole point. Where no one's saying you have to go get gay married. Nobody's saying you have to get a divorce because gay people can get married. They're like, it will affect my marriage. How? If your marriage is so weak that other people getting married affects you, even if a person married a horse or a chair or whatever, how the fuck does that affect you? Oh, it takes down the level of my marriage. No, only in your mind. If your marriage means that much to you, that's what it fucking means. You don't have to have the state. You don't have to have the state tell you how much your fucking marriage means to you and shit. That's absolute bullshit. It shows you how weak, how terribly fucking weak their arguments are.
It wasn't until marriage started becoming legal that I found a deep, uncontrollable attraction for Drew.
He is an attractive woman.
It has.
It's understandable.
He's the hottest woman I've talked to all day, actually.
Yeah, but we're talking about gay marriage.
I talked to my girlfriend for half an hour earlier. So, you're hot, Drew. You're a bad bitch. I want to see them titties.
Well, let's see if we get patron money up.
Well, you know what? Actually, Drew, I have a video lined up, and it's about people being made fun of for being fat. Quite honestly, I don't think it's right. And this is a viewer submission, and we're trying to push more good viewer submissions for videos, not just a bunch of random crazy shit from that other side of YouTube, but find us some good shit, and we will look through it and possibly play it. And this is one. And maybe, Glenn, I know you're over at Dark Matter's house. I know you two hang out and you're best buddies. So maybe you can put him back on, because I'm kind of tired of hearing you cry. So while we watch this video, maybe you can go get Dark Matter. Yeah, that's exactly.
Why are you rejecting me?
Exactly. All right, good. Bye-bye. Watch this video. Enjoy.
So, the other day, I'm at home talking to my daughter. I have a 5-year-old, and she's in kindergarten. And she told me that all of her friends at school make fun of me because I'm fat. And that she doesn't like me, her daddy. A 5-year-old girl telling me she doesn't like me, her own daddy, because I'm fat and all her friends at school make fun of me. You know, it hit me deep in my heart. So I told her to her face. Fuck you and all your motherfucking friends, nigga. Give a fuck if y'all in kindergarten, I'll whoop y'all motherfucking ass. That's why Santa Claus ain't real, bitch. That's why I fucked your mama, bitch. I'll fuck up all your kids. I don't care, goddammit. Huh? Prove it to me. Prove it to me. That's why you ain't going to Disney World, bitch. Fuck you and your friends. Fuck all y'all, bitch.
All right. I'm gonna play this real quick. This was another request. It's a song, so there's no video to go with it, but we'll just listen, and it's kind of weird. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
Did you know that some people think semen tastes good?
Oh, I know.
Some people, mind you, not me. Some people.
I was gonna say I dated a girl like that once. She liked Starbucks and the whatnot.
Starbucks?
Look at the Starbucks. All right, here's the song that this person wanted us to listen to.
October 2nd. Today, my life began. My parents do not know it yet. I am as small as the pollen of a flower, but it is I already. I will be a boy. I will have blonde hair and blue eyes. Nearly everything is settled already. October 19th. I have grown a little, but I am still too small to do anything by myself. My mother does everything for me, although she still does not know that she is killing me under her heart. But I am a real person, just as a crumb of bread is still real bread. My mother exists, and I do too. October 23rd. My mouth is just now beginning to open. Just think, in a year or so, I'll be laughing, or later I'll start to talk. My first word will be, Mama. October 25th. Today my heart began to beat. It will beat softly for the rest of my life, never stopping. After many years, it will tire and stop, then I shall die. November 2nd. I am growing continually. My arms and legs are taking shape, but I must wait a long time before these tiny legs will raise me to my mother's arms. November 12th. Tiny fingers are beginning.
I'm just curious, who got the money for this? Like for writing the lyrics? They're like, no. It was a fetus. They don't have like rights to money, right? They don't have the copyright thing because they don't have rights because they're a fetus. Oh, wait a second.
Yeah.
Oh shit! All right. That's enough of that weird shit. I can't do that.
Yeah, dude, that one seriously like disturbed me.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Instead, let's play this because after this we're gonna do the last nerd and we'll just.
I'm actually pretty sure you could pay that fetus, Cocktail, because there was one time I went to a strip joint and I rolled up a $20. Never mind.
Oh Jesus!
And he never says weird shit, right?
Right.
Oh, it's going in the upload. You're going in the file, Dark Matter.
There's actually like 600. Yeah, there's actually like 600 people in the room right now. The number is just frozen on Vaughn. So,
dude, TJ, you got a good idea, dude. You need to just take a bunch of like the horrible shit, way out of context,
exposing Dark Matter 2525. Bam.
And we'll link that Illuminati site that thinks dark matter is like part of a huge conspiracy. We'll link them in like the description.
Is it just me, or do you see the pyramid in the sunglasses that he has? Also, I see the pyramid.
Oh, like the reflection?
Oh yeah, man. There's a pyramid there for sure.
Son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch, with an eye behind it, obviously, which is like totally Illuminati. Jesus.
If you use a distortion tool in Photoshop to completely rearrange Jeffrey's lines, it can become an upside down pentagon.
Really?
You mean a pentagram?
I mean pentagram, yeah, sorry. No, I mean
Dark Matter got a C- in geometry. You give him a...
No, I'm talking about the actual.
Look, he loves the angles of his lotus, but other than that, he can give a fuck less about geometry. He's like one of them shapes with the 5 things and the whatnots.
It's for the government. Yeah, I'm
exactly. You're a fucking astronaut. So let's play this. This has
I'm
got.
the worst Satanist of all time.
You're pretty much the worst at everything ever of all time. So, I mean, don't.
Do you do anything
Except
good?
shitty cartoons. Go ahead. And
No, I mean, even the shitty cartoons, you're really worse at that too. Like, I'm pretty sure you get a lot of sympathy subscribers. Like, oh, this poor child is trying to do animation. We should probably give him some support.
400,000 people felt sorry for me.
Dude, yeah. And now they're giving you money. That's the worst part. Oh, look, he might be able to afford some gas to fucking put another 200 miles on a Lotus. Fucking sad sack of shit. I'm sitting there talking about my 1998 Nissan Altima with 180,000 miles. She's like, my Lotus has 16,000. Oh, well, isn't that nice? Remind me to kick you in the nuts when I meet you. It's pretty much like, mental note, kick this douchebag in the balls. All right, we gotta move the fuck on. Jesus Christ, we'll go on all night otherwise.
It's considered the most influential book in history. An estimated 25 million copies of the Bible are still sold every year. Yet skepticism is on the rise, and in a recent poll, those questioning the Bible stands equal with those who believe the Bible, and 2/3 of the people, 48 and under, say that they're doubters. So what's behind the rising tide of this cynicism? We're going to ask our historian and author of A Doubter's Guide to the Bible, Dr. John Dixon. There's his book right there, something you might want to pick up. So thanks so much, Dr. Dixon, for being with us. Why did you write this book?
To try and give doubters an overview of the Bible that along the way addresses their quite serious doubts.
That's excellent. So what are some of these doubts that the majority of the people you talk to have?
Well, a lot of people say the Bible has been used as a tool of oppression and slavery and violence through the centuries. And indeed, I think part of the answer is yes, it has been.
I love that he comes out and admits it. That part I will admit. I totally that he opens with that earns him a little bit of respect. But he's gonna need it because the shit he says afterwards is retarded.
Technically, that doesn't fucking matter at all. I mean, so what? It was used for oppression, but that doesn't speak to whether or not a God exists.
Yeah, exactly. But this is okay. When you're dealing with someone who's making an argument in one direction and they're trying to describe the argument of their opposition, you're naturally not going to get the best argument from the opposition from them. That never even in the case of atheists and everything. You're just, very rarely can someone that believes totally differently make a better argument for a position than the person that believes it. I guess is my point. And I mean, for some stupid people, whatever. I mean, whatever they believe, you could fucking make them think otherwise. But for people who've actually like dedicated their time, like my mother goes to fucking Bible study classes and shit. She could like, oh no, I'll tell you about this, go through it. So at least she's put the fucking time into it. But what they're gonna say your argument is well, it can be used for evil pretty much. And he's pretty much saying, yeah, it can. Which is totally obvious, by the way, because other religions like Islam or whatever are obviously doing evil in the name of their religion. So it's a totally obvious point, and that's why he's conceding it. But I mean, he needed to do that, and it earned me a little bit of respect before the rest of this that you're about to watch, which is totally laughable.
Used in this way, the interesting thing is that these are universals of human culture. You don't need the Bible to have war, violence, and slavery. They were there in Greece and Rome before the Bible came along. The more interesting question, I think, is what has the Bible uniquely inspired in Western culture?
So he's ignoring now. He's like, no. They attribute the violence and everything, and they're like, the Bible condones it. But ignore that because it existed before the Bible. So the Bible condoning it doesn't really matter. Let's look at the good things. Totally ignoring all the and so he needed that little bit of earned respect, which is what most of these fucking people do. Is they'll be like, look, there's some people that da da da, and then they totally shit on those kind of people.
And no, if the Bible can be credited for good things, then it should also be able to be blamed for bad things.
Exactly, same as God. If God can be credited with like miracles of like, you know, oh, this baby survived in a plane crash, then he should also be credited with the plane crash and the 200 other people that fucking died.
Yeah.
You know, this like one-sided fucking view of it makes it real easy to ignore the points against what you believe. It's so obvious when you take a step back and look at the bigger picture that, I mean, you know how many times I've thought to myself, like, you know what, I got this shit figured out. And then not 2 seconds afterwards, I'm like, I'm a bigger idiot than I even thought, because I know I don't have this shit all figured out. I know I'm not the fucking smartest person in the fucking world. I do not have any goddamn thing figured out. I'm just trying to figure things out, and to convince myself that I know everything is fucking retarded. But I'm smart enough to fucking understand that I'm stupid, and that I can only improve, pretty much. I don't know. Do you guys ever go through that where you're like, oh no, I totally like have this shit figured out about one topic or another, and then I don't know. I guess I've just been proven wrong about enough things. I've changed my mind about enough things that I just doubt myself. I'm skeptical about my own beliefs enough.
Well, yeah, you always keep that possibility open that you could be wrong, even about something you think you're absolutely convinced that you're right about.
Yeah, it's the definition of open-minded, or free thinking, or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
A lot of times it just takes the right person to explain something a certain way, and then you could change your mind.
Well, that's true. But a lot of the time, you know, for me, it took a lot of ridicule.
I think that helps. I think that helps a lot.
Honestly, I do too. I think that ridiculing people to a certain degree makes them really second guess. You know, like, let's imagine that you have a group of 5 friends, and 3 of them are always shit-talking one other guy, and one of them is defending that one other guy. And then he's constantly shown, time after time, what they ridicule him about is true. Eventually, that person will come to, you know, see. And even if it's one person versus, you know, it's one person hates or dislikes another person, and 3 others like that person, the more you can point out, because look, facts have nothing to fear. The truth has nothing to fear. When you're actually in pursuit of honesty and the actual honest pursuit of the truth and what's reality and all that other shit drops out.
Yeah, because I mean, I know I'm in this boat, and I'm sure both of you are as well. That's kind of the reason that you do these kinds of things in the first place, right? That's the reason I do them. That's the reason I make videos about whatever, is because I'm putting the idea out. And there might even be people that would normally agree with me on absolutely everything, but they might come across one thing and they'll just be like, no, I think you're wrong here, and here's why.
Nah,
and then I'll walk away with a better understanding, you know?
Like, I totally respect why you do it, but I do it for pussy.
Oh, yeah, because you're just rolling in the pussy.
Rolling in it, man.
It's
like,
not like
I've adopted at least 3 cats, man. Just rolling in the pussy.
And what you're talking about is also another reason that that people should be able to say whatever the fuck it is that they want, especially I say if they disagree with you, especially people holding some kind of fringe ideas, like these people that believe in the Illuminati and stuff. No, let them come out and say what they think. Let them. It might give me a better understanding of why I don't think there is some big conspiracy behind.
On the other hand, you end up with Fox News, who's a giantly popular news channel that puts out bullshit like we're watching, and has a lot of people nodding their heads to it. So that's the counterweight to the, you know, exposing them. Also, kind of gives them a platform.
Well, it does, but at the same time, as long as we're not stifling ideas on either side, our side is going to win out over that. The side of rational thinking is
hopefully
going to win out.
I think the tipping point is the age of information. The ability to look shit up, to like have things documented, to have it there at just a few clicks or pushes of a button, you can look shit up and see for yourself. But it has its downsides. You have people who at a push of a button use that to look up proof for chemtrails and shit like that, and they end up they're using that information, the full access to all that information, then they're using it just to back up what they already fucking wanted to believe. And so and it strengthens what they want to believe, because if a creationist is like meh, iffy, and then he goes and looks up a bunch of creationist shit, he's going to become a strong creationist. So what you're looking for is someone who's actually skeptical and not just you're looking for someone who's going to look at the evidence and then come to a conclusion, not someone who has the conclusion and then looks to back up their conclusion with evidence. That's the basic point. I mean, that is the most solid base of the entire argument.
Yeah, it's echo chambers. I constantly experience people who are trapped in these echo chambers, and I deliberately, look out for the other side. I search out the other side's arguments.
Well, I mean, that's all we do. I mean, all of us here. Dark Matter, you're constantly addressing the other side's like arguments or the text that they refer to or claim that is like holy scripture. I'm constantly addressing people that I disagree with. So is Drew. I mean, that's all we do. It's not like we just say things that people want to hear. I'm literally directly addressing a video, and it's my counter arguments that get the attention, and they are exposed to the arguments I'm countering at the same time. It's not like I'm just giving counter arguments like these motherfuckers. They don't have some atheist or liberal or anything on this. It's just like, oh, let's have the fight for faith or some shit, where they just bounce it off each other, and they have enough dumbass viewers that are like, good enough for me.
Yeah, and another thing that we all do is we all, at least to my knowledge, none of us, we don't, do away with commenting. There's people out there that will just outright, like, no commenting. Well, that's not a free exchange of ideas.
Excuse me, you're gonna no, shut up. I'm gonna have to censor you.
I want people on both sides, people watching the videos that disagree, people watching the videos that agree, and I want everybody to feel like they can say their thing in there, and they can say whatever the fuck they want, but they got to back it up.
I've said it before.
Back it up, and you can prove us wrong. Take it. It's yours.
I've said it before that if I mean, and it'll come back to bite me in the ass, but I don't care, because if I get a video that has like 800 thumbs up and no thumbs down, I'm like, Jesus, I am just like preaching to the choir. I want some like nasty comments and shit. I want
that, everybody in the chat.
Yeah, I said it'll come back to bite me in the ass. I already know that, but at the same time, it's the honest truth. I don't want to just be, everyone's my yes man type of shit and whatever.
I don't understand that. Why do some people want that? Why would you even want to enter in to that sort of thing where like people can't feel like they can say what they want to say?
How many times you have to change your mind about something because of something like the way someone explained it to you before you realize that it's important to listen to the way that people explain things to you? And if you are truly correct, then their arguments won't have an effect on your beliefs if you actually care about learning the facts and the truth. And not the truth, like the word that religious people use, truth, as if it's just something they proclaim. I mean, like actual, beyond what you believe, but actual factual history proof shit. And obviously history is written by the people who fucking, win the wars or whatever. But you understand my goddamn point. Everybody drink.
I was also going to say, do you ever think about that, like these people that we watch and how they, and even people we know in personal life that live like this in their day-to-day, where they are actually comfortable being surrounded by people that can express themselves because they know that this person is going to have a completely different idea. Like the people that have to stay closeted because they're gay, or people that are living with super religious parents that can't come out. How shitty of a human being do you have to be where you actually want to be around people who aren't even comfortable enough to come out and let you know what they really think, how they really live?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just shitty, man.
At the same time, if my neighbor was like, "You see them chemtrails?" I'd be like, "Man."
But that's why I want the neighbor to say that. So now, from now on, I can just be like, okay, I'm not gonna take his word as reliable as I might have had he not talked about chemtrails and FEMA camps.
Okay,
you know?
let's say that somebody, your neighbor, says one day, "You see them chemtrails?" And you're like, "Yeah, whatever." And then like 2 weeks later, he's like, your house gets broken into, and he's like, "I saw the people that did it. They were in a green Lexus or some shit." Okay, so if they're in a green Lexus, would you believe him?
I'm sorry, man. My freaking fire alarm just went off.
The point I'm making is, if someone told you they saw chemtrails, your neighbor said they saw chemtrails,
right?
And then two weeks later, your house gets broken into, and they say they saw the car that did the break-in, and it was a green Lexus. Do you believe it?
I would be likely to look into it. Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying I believe it.
It's kind of the same tactic they use. No, it's the tactic they use because they bring a little bit of fact into their bullshit, and it's enough to convince people that only know a little bit of fact.
Well, yeah, but I would say in that instance, the thing with chemtrails is something I can actually research and look up. I can't research and look up who broke into my goddamn house.
Bullshit. How are you going to research chemtrails, Drew? You going to hang on to the wing of a Boeing 747? I don't think so. I think your argument fails, sir.
That's a good point.
Fails.
That's some Lord Stephen Christ type shit. I'm proud of you, TJ.
Bam. Flying on the inside of the earth. All right.
What if I told him about my brother who works as a aircraft inspector, and he's I have sometimes gone to the airport with him, and he's shown me around, and I know that they don't have any fucking chemtrail payloads on those goddamn planes. What now?
How about we just take them to an airport and let them pick a random plane, whichever one they want, and then let them attach cameras that won't affect the way the plane flies or whatever, all over the fucking thing, and do all kinds of tests on the fuel and the wings and all that, and then fly. No, and then
it gets mixed in the fuel.
No. You're right. But let them do all the testing and then fly the thing and test it while it's flying, and they can film the fucking exhaust trails, and then they can say, "Look, there's trails, but we tested everything. There's nothing in there. What the fuck are you going to do now?"
And historians would generally agree that the Bible gave to Western culture its tradition of charity for the poor, love of enemy, human rights. These things didn't come from Greece and Rome. They came from the influence of the Bible.
Mm-hmm. I
Bullshit.
hear a lot of people saying, well, you can't prove it. Did someone really get swallowed by a whale? Did Noah really build this ark? So what's your response to those skeptics?
I love their graphic here. Doubts about the Bible. You can't prove it.
What? What was it exactly that he said did not come from Greece or Rome?
Human rights.
Human rights in general did not exist until the Bible.
No, in Greece and Rome, you are allowed to kill anybody you wanted at any time.
Exactly.
Yes, because there was no such thing as a beggar, say, in ancient Greece.
You never helped your fellow man ever before the Bible. As soon as the Bible was written, it wasn't even actually as soon as it was written. It took a little bit of time for people to actually for it to get distributed because they didn't have a printing press back then. So the Bible was actually written and then rewritten and rewritten and retranslated over and 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 over. But it was so potent in its first form that it still retained all of the charity forever, everywhere.
Jesus. Well, and it also took time, TJ, because of course these are brand new concepts. Wow, we shouldn't just beat each other to death and stuff like that until you read the fucking Bible, and it tells you to do exactly those fucking things.
Exactly.
Christianity, the Bible invented everything.
But what you're saying, Dark Matter, is Christianity created everything good, but like he already said, the bad stuff. Hey, that was there before. You can't blame Christianity for slaves and, all these kinds of things. It's just the good stuff, charity, human fucking rights.
Well, I think there's probably less evidence than the average devout Christian would hope for, but way more evidence than our average atheist friend would ever imagine, especially around the figure of Jesus.
Keep in mind, she just brought up Jonah's and the whale and Noah's Ark. That's what she brought up. She was like, they have problems with stories like Jonah and the whale and Noah's Ark. And so he's like, well, there's not as much evidence as you'd like, as in like there's no ark. And there's no way a man could live inside a whale. But there's evidence as far as Jesus is concerned because people wrote a lot about him, is basically what he's going to say. I'm going to try and bust through this so we can do the last nerve.
The study of the
Jonah and the whale, though, that part of the story is only a few verses.
So the Noah's Ark is only a couple pages.
So what fucking evidence? I mean,
that's what I'm saying. This is just basically, this is addressing people who are like, I believe in God, and like some of the dumb arguments don't quite get me going, so I'm gonna look for one that's slightly above dumb. I mean, anyone that thought about this fucking twice, I think about my own arguments multiple times, and I counter my own arguments while I'm making my points sometimes, because I'm thinking them the fuck through while I'm making them. Yeah. It's called fucking just your brain working. I'll be like making an argument, and I'll realize, Christians make the same kind of argument, and I'll fucking address that because I'm honest about the fucking thoughts I'm having and the beliefs and the common sense I think should be, everywhere. The where's the rationale with these fucking people? It's just gone.
He should say something about evidence for Jesus, and like you said, everything was written by people. Keep in mind that even biblical scholars will tell you this, that the earliest shit we got is from like 60 years after the event. So that would be like me writing about Vietnam, like, saying that, like.
Oh, excellent point. No, an excellent point. Look at how we've already changed the history on Iraq, like the way Fox News portrays Iraq. All right, and that's just like, in not even a decade, they've flipped the fucking script on that shit. It's like Obama's fault by now. You know what I mean? Like, there wasn't even a Hussein. The only Hussein was Hussein Obama. They're fucking the revisionist history, but it's just giving fodder to the people who want to believe it, and they know they're doing that.
Yeah, and to strengthen Dark Matter's point about if he were to write something about Vietnam, you also have to think that's even now in the information age, let alone when this shit was you were just hearing about Vietnam just word of mouth.
Right.
We watched documentaries on it. We've seen pictures on it, video clips. We know enough about Vietnam through all of that. These people wouldn't have even had any of that. They were living at a time where you knew absolutely nothing about what the fuck was going on.
Yeah. One more thing to say about this stupid shit. All right. I just think it's hilarious that they have something called Understanding Bible Beliefs. All right. So we're talking about something that's fucking 2,000 years old on the news. This is the news. And it's 2,000-year-old shit they're talking about. Yep. I just think that's funny.
Yeah, pop that motherfucker. Is that a root beer, Dark Matter?
This time I went with a cream soda.
Oh, wow.
So I'm kind of getting hardcore.
Sounds like something Pastor Manning would endorse.
Fuck.
All right. Here's the video I wanted to show you guys, and then we'll move on to the last nerve.
You see, once there was a time in America when we were encouraged to speak freely. And today, if you speak too freely, and if your speech comes from the perspective of faith, because there's something in you that you really believe that there's a God and He has a plan for you, and you believe that His Word is truth and reliable and trustworthy, and the veracity of it can lead to life, if you believe that, and that gives you the hope, and that leads you to love people enough that you're willing to tell them the truth, do not expect to be applauded for that. Because in today's world, what real love means is interpreted as hate. And if you tell someone what the truth is...
I'd just like to ask you guys to find the black person again. I think I found one.
It's like a Waldo game.
I would also like to add that I'm willing to bet that when he's done with his speech, they're all going to applaud him, thereby making him a dumbass.
The best part about this is there's more wigs in that audience than in Dark Matter's closet.
Coctopus, for the record, I don't use wigs, I use merkins.
You have merkins. Does everyone know what a merkin is? And it's not a merkin. It's a merkin. A merkin is a merkin. It's a pubic wig. God only fucking knows what the fuck someone would use a pubic wig for. But that's what a merkin is. A merkin.
Like some shady shit.
I wet it down and put it on top of my head so I look like 1980s Lionel Richie.
If you want, me and Drew can just shave our beard shavings and send it to you, and you can super glue it to your fucking head. That would make a great Dark Antics video.
I'd watch.
I would too. Alright, let's continue with this bullshit. It's almost over.
You'll be accused of hate speech. Craziest thing I've ever heard is some of the Christian groups that I know, and I know the people involved in them, are called hate groups. Really? What makes them a hate group? Because they said something someone didn't agree with.
Is his mic just turned up too loud? Because I can hear him swallowing and nasally, like Dark Matter breathing, like it's terrible. Jesus Christ, move the microphone away from your gasping mouth, like Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A. By the way, fuck gay people. We love them, we don't hate them. Get the fuck out of here. Pastor Manning, is that you? that seriously, it's hard for me to, like, not get an erection while you're doing that. So please continue.
What is it that causes us to say that we should celebrate diversity, which means you...
By the way, he's talking about celebrating diversity, and there's the one black guy I saw earlier. You see him?
Oh, yeah, he's
there. Celebrating diversity with all these old white people. Celebrating that diversity.
Well, that must have been intentional then.
Like but they don't want to celebrate diversity. They say we want to celebrate diversity or some shit, but then when someone is diverse from them, they call them out and they try and deny them rights.
It's like, we want diversity of my opinion.
Exactly. There's diversity, you just don't get any rights. You can disagree with me, you just don't get any rights to go along with that disagreement. What a load of bullshit. Go fucking eat some Chick-fil-A, you fat, nasally sounding motherfucker. I know I'm insulting both of you because Drew is fat and Dark Matter's nasally, but at least you're not Huckabee because he's both.
Oh my God, we should have a baby, Drew. It would be Coctopus's worst nightmare.
Cockabee.
A fat nasally baby.
Oh fuck! All right, done. All right, it's time for
no idea what this show does to my self-esteem.
He can't even get it up anymore. He cuts himself in the penis. All right, the last nerve. Let's fucking get it over with. This is a good one. I'll give you a warning ahead of time. You might not be able to fucking contain yourself.
I'm trying to tell you that God created Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve. Somebody say amen right there. I don't care what the government votes on. I don't care what the government legalizes. And I certainly don't care what San Francisco, California pushes. Amen there. Hey, it's not the West Coast. It's the left coast. You better believe that right now. I don't care what the news media pushes and what the public school has to say. This Bible said marriage is between a male and female. Not male and male and female and female.
Right.
Where the hell did you find this?
I'm telling you. Dude, the next video on his channel is lined up right here, too. We'll finish his, but we're going to watch the next video on his channel real quick.
Brian, from what I've heard, you're using your paper not for writing, but for rolling doobies. You'll be doing a lot of doobie rolling when you're living in a van down by the river.
Let's listen. He gets better.
Somebody told me the other day, Brother Ted. Somebody told me they said, Brother Jim, you better watch them girls. It used to be just a church full of girls. Now there's some boys coming in. You better watch out.
I gotta point out, he's like directly talking to one guy. He's like, someone came in the other day, said you gotta watch out for these girls. I'm guessing it's the dude he's talking directly to and making eye contact with right now.
That guy's like, buddy, please leave me alone. You're
He's
way
like,
too energetic.
He's for real. He's afraid he might crash his coffee table.
I'm just glad they're normal.
Wait.
You better watch out. I'm just glad.
You wanted to talk about being too close? Look at the face on the person he's talking to. They're like, I'm looking down. I'm not making eye contact. Please don't eat me.
Why do I keep coming here?
Please. I must be a glutton for punishment. Please don't eat me. Please don't eat me. Please don't eat me.
Explain why he's talking in front of the men's room instead of the ladies' room.
Because men.
Right above his head there?
Because men. There's no ladies' room in that church. Women got to pee standing up.
That's right.
On camera.
It's kind of weird, though, that there's like a bathroom directly connected to the sanctuary.
That's so they can tell who doesn't care about Jesus enough to hold their piss.
You have to go to the fucking bath. Like, you can hear the toilet flush from right there, like right in the middle of the sermon.
Oh man, if my mom made me come to that church, I would go in that bathroom and be like, wait.
Wait for the silent note.
I wouldn't even have to
baptize
fart.
people.
Like in the sink.
Toilet water.
Yeah. Right there.
After I take a shit in it. Oh my fucking God, it's almost over.
They're normal. We're gonna have
amen
guidelines, and we're gonna do it right, praise God. But I am glad normal has kicked in. Praise God. Because what this world is pushing, what Hollywood is pushing, what the news media wants to push is not normal.
But a fat guy in a suit screaming at a bunch of people going, hey man, is totally normal.
It's America, bro. It's pretty normal.
He's starting to sound, his voice is slipping into Alex Jonesy territory.
I'm telling you.
Oh,
yeah.
I noticed that.
The Illuminati. I'm not gonna set up my second mic, but my new mic, I can really get that deep down tone. I've got it right here, but I don't have it set up. If I do set it up, you won't be able to hear the rest of the video. So next time. But for now,
I'm wondering, is this guy going to go into a jiggle fit like Alex Jones does?
Actually, I'm pretty sure at the end of this video he does the truffle shuffle. So I don't know if you can hear the crowd, but they just said, what the Boy Scouts been doing is unnatural. And this other lady's like, that's right. Yeah, I'll play it again just so you can fucking don't like have to just take my word for it. While he's walking back up there, listen to the crowd.
Push is not normal.
It's perverted. What the Boy Scouts are pushing. Unnatural.
Look at what the Boy Scouts are doing. It's unnatural. That's right.
It's perverted.
And here's the best line, because motherfucker comes up with a punchline for that. Here we go.
I'm not sure what they're scouting now.
Scouting for boys. Them Boy Scouts is just scouting for boys, them fags.
This is like the summation of all the shit we make fun of them for.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy.